Hello, you are watching the Chistel, CHISTEL.com YouTube channel, and I am author Denise Turney, and one of the books I've written is Portia, which I'm going to read from today, and I'm starting on page 36. Portia is written in memoir format, and it's a short book. You probably could read it in no more than 3 hours. I would say 2 to 3 hours. It's about a prominent defense attorney in Chicago. Her father was very active in the civil rights movement. He was a very renowned leader in the Chicago, and her mother was a renowned Chicago school teacher. You think about Marva Collins, she was along those lines, and she a wonderful mother. They had a very strong, close knit family. So I'm on page 36, chapter 4, Wishes, reading from Portia. Wishes floated up to Portia out of a well she thought empty. Wishes moved her stocking covered feet backwards. Wishes moved her outside Dennis's thick, warm arms. She longed to see his face, watch his thoughts reveal themselves in the arc of his brow, in the strength of his jaw. She wanted to see if he was afraid that 2 years ago he had decided to love her. She wanted to see if his eyes would reveal to her whether or not he would love her tomorrow, next week, a month, a year from now. She stared at him bug-eyed. She thought she saw resolution that he would love her forever in his face. The thought took her again inside his embrace. He tightened his arms around her back and stroked her spine. She ran the back of her hand across her face heavily. Snot sprouted out of her nose and dribbled into her mouth. Her voice quaked like a big, deep bucket banging the inside of an empty well. How will I tell Mama? Dead. Like an echo making its way up through a deep valley, life gave her the answer. There were no other tests she could take. She'd reached the end of modern medicine. Pills wouldn't work. There was nothing she could swallow that would make her whole again. If she took 1,000 shots a day in the morning, she'd still wake up with breast cancer. Her last visit to Dr. Kernan's office was a matter of fact. Despite her, I'm okay, I'm all right, claims, Dennis accompanied her. So you're the lucky man, Dr. Kernan said while he smiled at Dennis. Dennis nodded yes. Then he turned and looked at Portia. I certainly am. Portia, Dr. Kernan leaned forward. He looked directly into her eyes. You've been an excellent patient. Then he looked at Dennis and smiled again. Ever since she was a little girl, she's been an excellent patient. Hardly ever sick. The few times she was, it was always something minor, except for that one time she broke her arm. Her dad told me she was climbing a neighbor's apple tree. Wasn't supposed to be up there. Portia lowered her head and grinned. Then there was that time she had meningitis. That wasn't a fun time, but she pulled through with flying colors. I don't think she cried once. Portia isn't one for complaining. And you know, he faced her again. You haven't changed. Not since you were a little girl coming in here with your mom and dad. Remember how you used to ask me for a grape lollipop before you left the office? She nodded. He leaned back in his chair. This isn't an easy time. I know that, but we're on our way to healing your body, and that's very good. Tomorrow you're going to be on the mend, young lady. I'm going to go in and make an incision you won't even notice months from now. When I walk in the hospital tomorrow morning, you're going to be the only thing on my mind. I'm going to take good care of you. Of that you can rest assured. And I just read you a little bit from Portia. From Portia, a unique woman who touches the world. I encourage you to get a copy of Portia. It's an inspirational book. There was a woman who bought this book for her mother. Her mother was in the hospital with cancer. She said she was done. She's given up. She read Portia and said, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to fight for my life. So I encourage you to get a copy of Portia. If not for yourself, then for a friend. And please subscribe to our Chisel.com YouTube channel. And I'll see you back here next week. Bye for now from author Denise Turney. Be blessed.